I'd like to call this meeting of the Shola City Council to order. Show that all council members are present, except for the exception of Vice Mayor Kakavas, who's asked to be excused. Tonight, I've asked Councilman Adams to lead us in the invocation and Councilman Hatch to lead us in the pledge. If you'd like to join us, please stand.
Our Father in heaven, we are very grateful this beautiful day to gather together as a council of the city of Shola. And we are grateful that we have the opportunity to discuss and to come up with ways to improve our area and to help it grow and to help the area recover from the challenges of the things this last year. Father, we pray that that will bless our lands with moisture. We'll be able to get the rain we desperately need. We're grateful for the city staff and the hard work they do to help our city, and we ask for thy spirit to be here at this time. We say these things in the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Apparently, Councilman Clark's running a little late as well. I don't see him here, so he'll be here, I'm sure. All right, thank you guys very much. Appreciate that. Next item on the agenda is call to public. Any citizen desire to speak on a matter that is within the jurisdiction of the city may do so at this time. Comments may be limited to 3 minutes per person and shall address the city council as a whole. Pursuant to Arizona open meeting law, the city council cannot discuss or act on an item presented at this time. First person I have is Mrs. Tamindong. Did I do it right? I did? That's going to be the first time forever that I've done it.
Thank you very much for your time and having me here. My name is Laura Tamindong. I have lived in Shola for 5 years. I'm the mother of 5. 4 at home, and 1 proudly serving in the United States Air Force. And my husband and I had just celebrated 20 years of marriage, and I am an occupational therapist. But what I'm here to share with you is that I'm competing in the Mrs. International Pageant in 6 weeks. And the Mrs. International Pageant will have 65 women from all over the United States and all over the world. Actually, there are different countries coming. And the services that we do, we have a platform. And so my platform is the organization Women's Rights Without Frontiers. And it is the organization that led us to the adoption of our daughter, Poppy. And so my platform is titled Poppy's Powerful Purpose, because Poppy has Down syndrome. And so we want to share a message of inclusivity, of respect, and diversity. And so Women's Rights Without Frontiers is working to stop forced and coerced abortion in China, because China is one of 3 countries in the world that has mandatory abortion for a prenatal Down syndrome diagnosis. And so I wanted to share with you that she has a life worth living, and all people with disabilities or whatever their strengths or weaknesses are, they have a life worth living. And I'm not here to share any negativity concerning that country. I just want to inspire and inform. And that's the reason I shared with each of you the bookmark, Women's Rights Without Frontiers, the Save a Girl campaign, that you can actually do something by looking up their campaign to save the lives. These are actual little babies that have been saved through the Save a Girl campaign, through Women's Rights Without Frontiers. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good luck.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Mr. Latham, give us your name and address for the record, please.
Jack Latham, 581 South 8th Avenue, Shola. I'm the new commander again for the VFW here in Shola, and I'm here today simply to thank the city for putting the flags. I meant to do it yesterday at the cemetery, putting the flags in the meadow, and I forgot. So I got carried away introducing Councilman also, and I forgot about the flags. But it was really nice. I didn't know it was there until I was driving down yesterday morning from the bank, and I saw it, and I thought that was really nice, and I want to thank the city for doing that. I also want to thank you, Mayor, you, Councilman Alsop, and the city manager, Ed, for being at our services yesterday. There was a time, you know, that the entire city council would be there. And believe me, veterans take notice of who supports them on events like that. So I want to thank the both of you for being there. And this Saturday, 10 o'clock across the street at the Veterans Memorial is the D-Day anniversary. Doing it on Saturday the 5th because of church and stuff on Sunday the 6th, which is the actual anniversary. So I hope to see some of you. Well, I won't be there. I'm going to Texas Saturday. So, but it'll be across the street for everybody watching, listening. 10 o'clock at the Veterans Memorial, June the 5th. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Jack, just a quick comment. I can tell you many years as I think a lot of us have been going, I think yesterday's was phenomenal. It was,
I think we had
it was a great turnout. Walt Blackman did a good job, kept it short, handing out. It was one of the better ones that I participated in. And I know I talked to Russell a little bit afterwards. They're talking about putting up a few tents now. So it's growing and growing. And I just think yesterday, for some reason, I think was the best one I've been to.
I thought Walt, he gave a short speech, but it was from the heart.
Right.
And it tells the difficulty, it told the difficulty that a lot of us go through as leaders, ordering somebody into combat when you know there's a good chance they're not coming back. So leaders get PTSD also,
Right.
you know, because of that. So he gave a very heartfelt moment there.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Doug, I can't pronounce your last name because
Can't read it.
not at all. It's almost like if I wrote my last name because I can't read mine either. So Roberts, I think.
It is.
Name and address for the record, please.
We have coming up Saturday,
Doug,
cruise.
your address, please, real quick. Address,
Oh, my
please.
address?
Yes, please.
I have to listen?
Nobody else does, so no.
1441 North 36th Drive, Shola,
Thank you.
right next door to Brother Alsop here. Mr. Alsop, Councilman Alsop. There we go. Saturday, car show coming up. We'll be right across the Deuce of Clubs from here in the Frontier Fields, right behind the county offices. This is our annual Shola car show. We will start on Friday night with a cruise that leaves Frontier Fields at 5 o'clock, then goes running up around on Lone Pine Dam Road and comes back and ends at Hatch Toyota. There will be, Hatch Toyota has gotten some sponsors. Snowflake Smokehouse will be providing some barbecue, and Culver's will be providing some custard, and it'll be a good time for all. Then on Saturday, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, we'll have up to about 200 cars parked on the soccer fields over here. Free admission. There is an entry cost for cars if they want to be judged and receive trophies, but we should have room for about 200 cars. It's always a great event. It'll run from 9 a.m. The judging will start at about 2:45 and it get done about 4. So the cars will be there from about 9 to 4. Always a lot of great cars. In fact, a couple of years ago, we had the City of Shola truck in that show. It's always a good time. Really laid back and informal, and everybody just come and go and have a good time, just walk through the fields. We just ask that they be careful around the cars, not bring any dogs, not ride any bikes, don't scratch up the cars. But another thing is we wanted to mention that the city has done an excellent job improving that field over there. They've expanded everything, put some more parking area and run power to the outside for the vendors. It's awesome. And we appreciate everything that everybody did with that. We have the vendor booths are now being run by an outside, a coordinating group with us. That takes a lot of pressure off of the people that are actually doing the car part. They're doing the vendor part, and it makes it so it should be a whole lot better deal. So we have some flyers and entry forms if anybody needs them. I just wanted to encourage everybody to attend on Saturday, Friday night and Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you. Friday night, wait. Where does it start Friday night?
At the Frontier Fields.
Okay.
We'll be leaving out Frontier Fields and we'll be driving around Old Linden Road over to Lone Pine Dam and around over to 77 and then back over to Hatch Toyota, and we should be to Hatch Toyota. We'll be leaving there at 5, take about an hour. About 6 o'clock, we'll be at Hatch Toyota, and that's where the burger burn.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty, moving right along. And next item on the agenda is special events. Presentation by Schneider Electric. Mr. Johnson.
Do I need to state my address?
Yes, please.
Okay, 180 North 9th Street, right across the street.
You need to fill out a blue piece of paper as well.
I wore a blue
Can you
shirt.
tell us what
Isn't
color
that
your
good
house
enough?
is, please?
So, Mayor and council members, I'm happy tonight to introduce representatives from Schneider Electric and APS, if they would come on up. Just as a reminder for those who may be watching that aren't familiar, we did contract with Schneider Electric to do some energy upgrades at City Hall and at a few of the city facilities. And due to that project, we were eligible for some rebates through APS. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Brandon from Schneider, and we also have Neil Traber here from APS.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. And Justin said presentation. That's a bit of a strong word. He recapped basically everything. I just want to say thank you to the city council that was here and the new city council members that are here currently. Although this is not a large, it's a large check. Although it's not a large number, this is kind of an end cap to a fantastic proactive project that the city undertook about a year and a half ago that is projected to save just over $2 million over the next 20 years. So as part of that project, as Justin mentioned, changed out all the LED lights, or all the lights to LED in this facility and a lot of the city facilities, and then building automation system to be able to better control, monitor, manage the schedules and temperatures around the city. And then through APS, as a part of that, for the building automation system, they've got rebates that go back to the city for any energy efficiency upgrades they did. Hence the outrageously large check you have here. So just want to say thank you all for the opportunity for partnering with Schneider Electric and APS and taking a proactive approach on saving the city some money.
Thank you. That's an awesome number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's a little number? A big check, little number, big check, big number. Thank
It's
you,
a little
guys.
relative to the 2.1 million in life cycle savings.
Right.
This is just one more cherry on top of that.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank you
it
all.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda is presentation of certificates of appreciation for outgoing members of the Planning and Zoning Commission, Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, Aviation Advisory Committee, and Board of Adjustments. I don't think any of them are here tonight, but just want to thank Doug Riggins for his dedication to Aviation Advisory Committee. Appreciate that, Doug. I'm pretty sure none of them are here, right? So, Robert Petoni, Board of Adjustments member. He was on there. They were all on there 4 years, so appreciate the dedication. Eric Poldel for Parks and Rec Advisory Committee. Appreciate their dedication. And also Bill Best, Planning and Zoning. Bill was on there pretty short time, but appreciate his dedication as well. And we'll get those to them just as soon as we can. All righty, next item on the agenda is introduction of our airport manager, Mr. Cupp.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I am very pleased to introduce Jake Allen. It says Jacob here, but he informed us that he goes by Jake, our new airport manager. We think we have a great fit with Jake, and we're looking forward to many years of service. And I will let Jake go ahead and speak for himself. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Bill, for that introduction. Unfortunately, I do not have any large checks. But good evening, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the council. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to come and introduce myself this evening. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to serve at the city of Shola as the new airport manager. Today was actually my second day on the job, and everyone's been really great. I've been working with the staff out at the airport, and just taken on a wealth of information. It's been really great so far. Just allow me to give you a few points about my background. I've been working in the aviation industry here in Arizona for 10 years. I'm originally from Illinois. I'm a graduate of Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, and I did the aviation program there and graduated with a bachelor's degree in aviation management and flight. I'm a commercial pilot with an instrument rating, and I am an aircraft owner as well, so I will be a tenant at the airport. I started my career in Flagstaff, Arizona. I started there working for the airlines as a customer service and operations agent, where we worked the ramp. We did everything there was to do at the airport. From there, I took a position down in Phoenix as a customer service and operations supervisor with the airlines, with a major carrier that has their hubs in Phoenix. And I worked for them for several years. And from there, I went to the Sedona Airport, where I served as the assistant manager for the Sedona Airport. And I was there for 3 years. And most recently, I have been with an airport planning firm that's located in Scottsdale, where I mostly was a planner for aviation master plans, airport master plans. So not unlike the one that was just approved by City Council through Armstrong Consultants. So that's what I did previously. But really, just I just want to say that I'm really excited to be here at the City of Shola, and I thank everyone for being so welcoming. And thank you again, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Well, welcome. Appreciate you. Family, kids, wives.
I'm
Wife?
single.
I didn't mean to say wives. Sorry.
No, I'm single. My family, my parents just recently moved to Tucson from Illinois. I actually came out first, 10 years ago, and they finally followed me out here. I've been singing its praises for however many years now. So they're excited to have a vacation home up in Shola. Come see me. And just a dog and me. But I'm really happy to be here, and I think it's a great airport, and I've flown in a few times, and it's just really well maintained and just a great place to be.
And I know we're all looking forward to working with you for sure. Any other questions or comments?
No, just welcome.
Welcome. Congratulations.
Congratulations, and hopefully this is going to be your last stop.
Right.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much.
Long stop.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All righty, next item on the agenda is consent calendar. Is there any items that anybody wants to remove? Or if not, items will be considering proclamation by the mayor proclaiming June 14, 2021 as Flag Day. Consideration of resolution number R 2020-06 approving submitting application 2021 Rebuilding American Infrastructure. Consideration of approval of memorandum understanding with the Northern Arizona local workforce. Consideration of resolution number R 2021-08 accepting in Federal Aviation Administration Airport Corona Response Grant Program. Consideration of acceptance of the flooring of placement at Shola City Hall, and consideration of special minutes of the special meeting May 18th and the regular meeting on May 18th. I'll entertain a motion.
I have a question first, Mayor.
Sure.
I seen this thing on the flooring in the city gym. and we can't call it a carpet gym anymore, but how did that go? I haven't had a chance to go take a look at it. Is it what we expected it to be, or is it not?
Not what we expected.
Yeah, it's not, it's too late. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. On all the above or just one?
The installation went very smoothly. There were a couple of issues when we did a walkthrough, and we contacted the vendor, and they sent folks right up and took care of those issues. The pickleballers are playing in there under some stricter rules for taking care of the floor, and they enjoy it. So far it's been going very well. And you're welcome to contact me anytime, or Rick anytime, and we'll get you in there so you can take a look.
I think it'd be a great idea. At least I like to go in and take a look at it. And I heard that some of the vendors now, you kind of help, with their deposits and everything else to help clean things up and keep things good. So I appreciate that very much too. So, but yeah, I will get with you because I definitely want to go over and take a look at it.
We definitely want to take care of it. And for about a week, I was scared to even let anybody in there, but I finally decided I had to. So it turned out really nice though. So please come and see me. We'll get you in there.
Okay. Thanks,
All
Bill.
of you, of course, are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'll make
All
a
right.
motion. To accept
Councilman Alsop,
I'll make a motion to accept the consent calendar.
get a second. Councilman Hall. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Since I don't have the proclamation in front of me, I'm sure Mrs. Hall decided she's going to read it for me.
Thanks, Mayor. Proclamation, City of Shola, Office of the Mayor and City Council, whereas by Act of Congress of the United States dated June 14, 1777, the first official flag of the United States was adopted, and whereas by Act of Congress dated August 3rd, 1949, June 14th of each year was designated National Flag Day, and whereas the Congress has requested the President to issue annually a proclamation designating the week in which June 14th occurs as National Flag Week, and whereas Flag Day celebrates our nation's symbol of unity, a democracy, and a republic, and stands for our country's devotion to freedom, to the rule of all, and to equal rights for all. Now, therefore, John Leach Jr., Mayor, on behalf of the Shola City Council, does hereby proclaim June 14th, 2021 as Flag Day in the city of Shola, and urges all citizens to reflect on the proud history and profound meaning of our flag, and to join together in celebration and in recital of the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Thank you. I think there's somebody here to pick that up. Can we sign it?
You can say.
Who's here to pick this up? Or no one?
No one.
I don't need to sign it. I'll sign it anyway. So we have to do it later. Anyway, thank you for that. So I can tell you, I don't know about you guys, but driving around through this town was amazing. Seems like everywhere you go, the flags in the meadow at Circle K. It's just absolutely awesome everywhere you went in town. And I stayed in town all weekend, but it's absolutely beautiful driving through this town. I'm sure it was that way all through the country, but I don't live everywhere else. I live right here. So thank everybody that did that, city staff, especially Rick and his crew out there for the meadow. That looked phenomenal. All righty, moving right along to new business. Consideration of award of construction contract for the Shola Lake Road Sidewalk Improvement Project, City Hall, project number R1821. Hamstock.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The city's fiscal year 2021 capital improvements program budget includes $185,000 for a sidewalk connectivity project labeled Shola Lake Road Sidewalk. Scope of the work includes installing curb, gutter, 5-foot sidewalk, ADA ramps, driveways, and required drainage facilities along Shola Lake Road. These improvements are located along the west side of Shola Lake Road from the Scott Ranch Road intersection, heading south to the Shola Lake Campground. The project was designed by city engineering staff with a construction estimate of $238,000. The project was bid according with statutory requirements with the following results. McCauley Construction at $259,340.00. and Rowling Specialty Contracting at $269,130. Staff has identified bid savings from the 4th Avenue and West Cooley Roadway construction project and the operating budget savings to help fund the overage amount to award the project. Staff recommends awarding the construction contract for the Shola Lake Road Sidewalk Improvements Project, City of Shola, project number R1821, to Macaulay Construction in that amount not to exceed at $259,340.00 and approve those associated budget transfers. The bid tabulation for the work is attached and I'm available for any questions.
Any questions or comments? Councilman Alsop,
If there's no questions, I'll go ahead and make a motion.
go ahead.
I move to award the construction contract of the Shola Lake Road Sidewalk Improvement Project, City of Shola Project number R1821 to McClary Construction in the amount not to exceed $259,340 and approve the associated budget transfers.
Got a motion, need a second by Councilman Adams. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
You know, one thing,
Another
Mayor,
comment too about what we're doing in this town is these paths and these sidewalks. It's pretty awesome.
you know, I was just going to say the same thing. With this sidewalk going up to Shola Lake and everything else, it's just going to be a great place to keep people off the road where, you know, safety wise and everything else. So it's just one of those new things that we're want to keep going to for the safety of the people, but also to make it Shola look a lot better. So appreciate it. Thank you.
All righty, next item on the agenda is consideration of award of contract for city entry sign. Project number FM 2321. Mr. Cup.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The city's fiscal year 2021 budget included $280,000 in funding for upgrading and adding highway signs at 5 locations on Arizona Department of Transportation highways and a 6th location on Penrod Road. This is in addition to the entry sign at the Deuce Clubs and Clark Road intersection that we completed a few months ago. Signs will welcome visitors to Shola. The graphics for the signage were presented to council during the October 2019 council retreat. The project was publicly bid according to statutory requirements with the following results. Floresco Services, LLC, $313,020. Allegra, $345,960. The lowest bid exceeded the remaining budget amount by $57,038. In order to complete the project, staff recommends using council contingency funds. Staff recommends awarding the construction contract for the Shola City Entry Signage Project, City of Shola project number R2321 to Floresco Services, LLC, an amount not to exceed $313,020 and approve the associated budget transfers. Happy to answer questions.
Just a quick comment. I sat on that committee with then Mayor Seymour. I don't know how many years, a couple of years we talked about these signs, but I know we went over budget on this, but I think this council decided in the last retreat that we wanted to get them all done at the same time. But if you haven't seen the one on the west side of town, I think we did a really good job on these signs, and they're going to look really nice when we get them. And putting them all up at once, I think, is better than one here, one there. And I know we talked about that a few times. So thank you for having patience and going through that, going back to the contractors and the guys that are designing these signs, because we did go back and forth a few times. So appreciate that, Bill. Yes, Councilman.
I love the design of them. I think they're really nice. And they're all going to be consistent, right? Wherever they're at, they're all going to look the same. And that, I think that is wonderful. How tall are they?
14 feet and 10 feet wide.
So the picture you're looking at, it's not the picture that the one's out there. So it's kind of a sort of that design.
That was a rendering that one of the designers put together. The color scheme is all correct, but the stonework is different. And they are certainly willing to work with us on any changes, modifications, and things like that we want to do within reason, and also on locations. And we will probably move the locations around a little bit so they better fit the terrain and are in a nice visible spot too.
Any more questions and comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion. From somebody.
I can make it.
Thank you.
I move to award the construction contract for the Shola City Entry Signage Project, City of Shola project number R2321 to Floresco Services LLC in an amount not to exceed $313,020 and approve the associated budget transfers.
I'll second that. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. You're going to stay right there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Consideration of, next item on the agenda is consideration of approval of agreement with Electrify America LLC for electric charging stations. Mr. Cup.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Arizona Public Service, APS, is conducting an electric vehicle charging pilot program whereby APS is installing electric vehicle charging stations at selected locations. The program is being conducted in order for APS to provide electric vehicle EV charging stations for public users. Shola is among 5 cities in Arizona that have been selected by APS to participate in the program. The charging stations will be installed by Electrify America /APS and their contractors at no cost to the city. The cost for installation is estimated at $700,000. Once the installation is complete, Electrify America will assign and APS will assume all obligations under the contract. The program includes the installation of 2 pedestal-mounted charging stations with 2 rapid chargers on each pedestal. The charging stations will be located at 4 parking spaces on the south side of the City Hall parking lot. The electric gear and equipment will be shielded from view by an enclosure approved by the city. The charging stations will be equipped to accept payment through a phone app. The app will also include mapping and directions to charging stations in the network. These rapid chargers will be capable of providing a full charge to most EVs in 30 to 45 minutes. Staff recommends approving the agreement with Electrify America LLC for the installation of electric charging stations.
Thank you, sir.
Happy to answer questions.
Councilman also.
Thank you. Okay, it says in here that, how many places are we going to have it? And have we picked the places out?
There will be 4 spots, and there are 4 parking spaces that would be west of the jail and the cabin. There's
so it's going to be right down over here.
Across the street. There's kind of an empty space there that's suitable for the equipment that they're going to install there.
Okay.
I know the pictures are a little deceiving when we were looking at them today. They're kind of deceiving on where they're going, but they're literally 4 parking spots and they're all together. They're not spread apart. They're all in one unit, correct?
Yes.
Because I know there's some up in Holbrook, and I didn't, I knew that we didn't have any here, so I just wondered where we were going to put them at. So
there are actually 4 chargers at the Hampton Inn, but those are the slower and lower voltage. I think they're 1200 kW, and these are 150, I believe.
if you need me, I can make a motion if you need me.
Are there any other comments, questions? No questions. Go ahead, Councilman Alsop.
Okay, I move to approve the agreement with Electrify America LLC for electric charging stations on the city property, authorize and assignment of APS, authorize the mayor to sign the necessary easements and placements and access to the equipment.
Got a motion, any second? Councilman Adams, second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you.
Do we need to add approve budget transfers?
Not on this one, when there's no cost.
I thought you said zero cost. Now you want money?
I have been.
What happened?
For the last 2 weeks, I have been confusing 2 projects here, so I apologize. Thank you.
We're going to back up. Now you want money. All right. Next item on the agenda is consideration of resolution number R 2021-07, adopting the tentative budget and establishing the expenditure limitations for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2022. Mr. Johnson.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Tonight we have the tentative budget. We've prepared a PowerPoint presentation for that. After the presentation, then we'll need the council to adopt Resolution R 2021-07. So once the tentative budget's been set, we can no longer increase the budget. We can still make changes if necessary, but this will be our maximum amount because the expenditure limitation will be set tonight. Then on June 15th, we'll be back for the final budget adoption, and then on July 20th, we'll be back to adopt a secondary tax rate for the Streetlight Improvement District. These are a reminder of the goals and priorities that we had in mind when staff and council put the budget together, and I think we've done a good job this year of trying to address all of these areas. The first thing I would like to address tonight is a couple of changes. So the number that we presented at the changes to the recommended or the draft tentative budget at the last meeting was about $230,000 less than the number we have tonight. And I just wanted to explain what the reason for those changes. $50,000 of that $230,000 is for an opportunity that we were made aware of in the last week or two for a forest health grant. And in this grant, we will partner with Navajo County, and they will administer the grant, but there may be some needs for the city to help property owners to pay their share so they can get their properties cleaned and basically keep the forest healthy on individual lots. So there's $50,000 that we've added to the budget for that. Are there any questions about that?
Explain the partnership. What do you mean?
So there's funding available through the state, and I don't know if it's federal money through the state, but Ed can maybe talk a little bit more about it.
It's through the state forestry department, and Navajo County's participated in this prior, and the maximum grant was $150,000, where it's 90% participation by the state to clean up somebody's property, but they can go up to $500,000, but it's only a 70% grant. And between us and the county, we wanted to keep it the 90%. So if we participate in 10% and the county participates 10%, it'll be equal to the other grants. But it's through state forestry.
Thank you.
Okay, and then the other, I didn't detail them out here, but we did have a couple of projects that we needed to increase the amount we were carrying over from this year to next. So it was projects that were already identified. There were just changes in the dollar amount. So those are the only two real changes from the recommended. This is our adopted budget comparison. Last year, our adopted budget was at $60,300,000. This year's at $72.8 thousand. And that does seem like a significant increase, but a good portion of that was the amount of change in the increase to the unanticipated. In years past, we've had that at $4 million, and that's kind of the placeholder for any unexpected grants or projects, or we go out for bonding. We need to have room to add those projects to our budget. And this year it's $9 million. So there's $5 million there, and then the balance of a little over $7 million is in project carryovers. This is our adopted versus actual, just to remind the council and viewers that we're very conservative in our budgeting, and we always underspend the budget and leave room there. And typically we have money carryover that can be used as reserves and unfunded balances. This is a breakdown of where all the funds come from. Operating revenues, our beginning fund balances, and then other financing sources and interfund transfers. On the revenue side, our beginning balance is $32.7 million. That comes from savings and reserves from prior years. Other financing sources, which I just spoke about, the $9 million is unanticipated. Then we have interfund transfers of $4.8 million and operating revenues of $38.8 million. This is a breakdown of how the $38 million it comes in. Most of that's in taxes, both local and state shared. Then we have charges for services and utility fees combined for about 36%. And then intergovernmental fines and forfeitures and miscellaneous make up the balance. This is a slide that was in the changes to the recommended. As a reminder, water fees will collect about 4.9 million, wastewater 3.2 million. And we do have a resolution that was adopted in 2014 that allows for a CPI adjustment. And we have plans to make that adjustment in January. And then with the sanitation, these are the same numbers that were presented last time. There'll be a 14-cent increase to customers for their regular and recycle cart. That price is for both. And then if they have an additional cart, each cart will go from $6.74 to $7.03. So some slight increases there. Our local sales tax is budgeted at $12 million. Year to date, we're at $12.3 million with 2 full months remaining. We expect to exceed the amount the estimated amount's in there, the 14.6. So we expect to exceed that with 2 more months coming. And it's a very conservative number at $12 million, but we're not sure what the future holds. So we like to stay conservative, and if we have extra, then we can make plans for that money in the future year instead of making plans for money that we're not sure is going to be there. The state shared revenues, the state estimates, as of last week, we haven't received the final numbers, but based on the most recent estimate, $153,000 more than we got in fiscal year 21. So that's good news. This chart just gives you a breakdown of the historical revenues received from the state shared, and that's the state shared income tax, sales tax, the highway user fund, gas tax, or the highway, and then the vehicle license tax. This is a breakdown of the intergovernmental, $4 million, grant revenues from the various grants that we have listed, and then any new grants will come to the council for accepting before we accept them. This is a breakdown of the expenditures by type. 38% of the fiscal year 22 budget will be spent on capital, and that shows that we're really trying to maintain and improve infrastructure and take care of the things that we have. Personnel's 28%, and then operations at 20.1%. This is a breakdown of our cost for our personnel, 173.5 full-time equivalents. And this is also unchanged from our last discussion, but I'll just quick overview: addition of 4 full-time equivalents, 2 sworn officers contingent on a staffing study, and 2 dispatchers in communications contingent on taking on new partners for dispatch, 1.5 in planning and zoning, 1/2 of an increase that took the admin from half-time to full-time, and then 1 building inspector contingent on the revenues, and we're closely monitoring that. And then 1/2 of full-time equivalent in engineering, which is also increased from 1/2 to a full-time on the admin. 1 full-time equivalent in water. That takes care of the full-time equivalent additions. As far as the pension rates for retirement, for the regular retirement, the ASRS, there's a slight increase from 12.221% to 12.41%. And then the PSPRS rate is unchanged. Now that recommended rate did go down because our funding improved over the past year. But as we've discussed with council in the past, we're leaving it at the higher rate until we're fully 100% funded. So that's quite a bit higher than what we are required to pay, but we want to be proactive and try and stay ahead of that. And then we also have $2 million of additional funding programmed for PSPRS in fiscal year 22. And we're hoping with the performance of the portfolio this year and the addition of the $2 million for next year will be in that 90% range. There's no guarantees, but that's the way things are looking right now. We hope that's where we'll be. This is just a trend of historical authorized full-time equivalent positions. Breakdown of personnel by service area. Public safety at 35%. Utilities 15%. Public works 18%. Community services 15%. General government 13%. And planning and zoning 4%. It's a breakdown of the capital and contingencies by different fund for a total of $25.2 million. Our operating reserves, as was requested, we're at 3 months for the general fund and water operations. We're getting closer on wastewater, but we didn't have the funding this year to get a full 3 months. So we're between 2 and 3 months on that one. And for the water treatment plant reserve, 1.9 million. And with updated construction estimates, the cost to construct would be about 4.1 million. This is our annual debt service, the outstanding debt that we have. And it's about close to 2 million per year to make those payments for principal and interest. This is a breakdown of expenditures by service area. Public Works at 26.7, General Government at 25.3, Utilities 22.9, and Public Safety at 19.5. And then breaking that down further, just for the general fund, this is a breakdown of how those expenditures roll out for different departments. The police is 35.6, airport at 10.7, general operations at 14.6, and the rest of them all as they're listed there. So what's next after the adoption of the tentative budget tonight? We'll advertise in the paper for 2 weeks to prepare for the public hearing to adopt the final budget on June 15th, and then the secondary property tax levy on July 20th. And sorry to go through that so fast. You've seen most of those many times. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to entertain those.
Questions or comments?
The only thing I can say is thank you for staff for doing this, putting it all together. It seems like it's always a long process, but as people can see, Total's in pretty good shape with the staff we have and city manager we have in the council. So we just want to thank you for keeping us informed of what's going on and keeping us abreast of what's going on and make sure we have the money in the places we need to have it. Appreciate it.
We appreciate the support of the council. Makes the process a lot easier.
Any other comments or questions?
I appreciate the work that they do. This has to be a lot of work, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that I'd like to express my appreciation also for all the work that you and your staff have done. I move to adopt resolution number 2021-07, adopting the tentative budget and establishing the expenditure limitation for fiscal year 2022 at $72,817,309.
Got a motion. I need a second. Second with Councilman Wilson. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Justin.
All righty. At this time, the City Council will recess into a special meeting of the Shola Bluff Community Facility District Board to adopt the tentative budget for fiscal year 2021-22 for the district. You got to give me a minute to find it, but we are now officially board members instead of council members, I believe. Let me find the agenda. Sorry, found it and clicked on the wrong one.
Doesn't have a page number. So.
All righty. Roll call. Are you ready, Rachel? Roll call. Board members are here. Call to order. Roll call. Board members. Consideration of resolution number R 2021-01 adopting the. Is that resolution correct? How it's spelled on there? R 2021-01. Is that okay? Just want to make sure. Adopting the tentative budget and establish the expenditure limitations for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2022. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. Thanks to the board for allowing me to come and make this presentation for the tentative budget for the Shola Bluff CFD. So a quick history on the Shola Bluff CFD. It was formed by the property owners of the district in 2005. It is a separate unit of government from the city of Shola. and it has a separate board to manage the business there. Debt issued must be covered by the district's assessed value, and the benefit of the debt, which is all the infrastructure, roads, water, wastewater lines, and things of that nature, must be for the benefit of the district. So there were two separate bonds issued, a special assessment bond and then a general obligation bond. So for the assessment bond, it was issued in 2007 at $2,014,000 with an annual debt service of $152,060. There are 227 parcels, and the Shola Bluff Development Corporation owns 127 parcels, which is 56%. And there are currently $232,000 in unbudgeted reserves. On the revenues, the beginning fund balance is $266,453. And there's two assessment billings totaling $130,783. So in June, there's a principal and interest billing, and then December, there's an interest-only billing. On the GO side, the general obligation, there were two, one in 2007, one in 2011. We currently have budgeted reserves of $0. The GO bond was paid in full in July of 2019. The tax levy for debt service and the M&O are no longer collected because that debt has been paid. So what's next after the adoption of tentative tonight? We'll have final budget adoption, including a public hearing on June 15th.
Thank you. Any questions? Councilman Alsop.
If there's no questions, I'll go ahead and make a motion.
Councilwoman Wilson, you had a question.
It wasn't a question necessarily. It's just, it's nice to see when a debt has been paid.
Yes.
You can drop, any kind of a levy because it's been paid.
Yeah, we did get comments. Carrie probably got a lot of them. I got a lot of them over the years. People were actually deterred from purchasing up there because they heard there was an additional tax. Even if they don't know how much it is, if they hear there's an extra tax, then that kind of gets them looking in other areas. So it is nice to have that gone so we can tell them there's no property tax there. It's just an assessment.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Councilman Alsop.
Okay, I move to adopt resolution number R 2021-01, adopting a tentative budget and establishing an expenditure limitation for fiscal year 2022 at $169,860.
Got a motion? Councilman Hatch, second it. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. All righty, next item on the agenda is consideration of the minutes of the Shola Bluff Community Facilities District Board meeting on July 21st, 2020, I'm sorry. We haven't hit 2021 yet.
So moved.
Got a motion? Need a second? Councilman Adams, second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
Abstaining, I wasn't here.
You can still vote. We made you an official board member a minute ago. Remember that part?
Right.
All right. All right. If there's no other business before this board, I will adjourn this meeting and go recess back into our regular meeting. Thank you, sir. Now give me a minute to find it again. All righty. Next item on the agenda is summary of current events. Council members. Councilman Alsop.
Ever since we started this meeting tonight, we've been talking about the memorial celebration, and I just want to, if you've never been to the Shola Cemetery on that celebration, you really need to go. It's really heartwarming and everything else. People take it for granted that Memorial Weekend is a time for fun and camping and enjoying things and picnics. If it wasn't for those people in those hollow graves, we wouldn't have the things we have right now. So I just want to thank the VFW 709-907 for putting this together, but also for their Arizona Congressman Walt Blackman for his speaking at that. It was just like Commander Latham said, is just it came from the heart, and it's the list of somebody that had to do the stuff that he had to do and to stand firm on things. It was really was really hard for him, and I think it still bugs him. Like Jack says, even commanders get that disease, and so. And also want to thank Culverts and the people on the Circle K on the corner of 60 and 260 for all the flags, along with the city staff and the medal. Great job. Houses around town. The mayor was talking about that. If you just drive around town, a lot of business had flags, a lot of homes had flags. So this is just a town that really stands for the people and stands for the people that serve for this community and serve for this United States and to put us where we're at. And the last thing is I want to wish our city manager a happy birthday. Thank you.
Another one?
Not yet.
Every year about this time.
Always during the budget too. What's up with that? Councilwoman Wilson.
I want to say I went to the farmer's market. It was so neat that the farmer's market is back. It was really nice to go do that. And I also promised that I would plug the Cruising the Rim car show on Friday night and Saturday, June 4th and 5th.
Thank you. Yeah.
I just think it's great to see all the flags and the medal, and I want to say staff for that. I think it looks wonderful, and I hope people come up and enjoy our beautiful community and all that we have to offer.
Thank you.
I would just like to compliment the folks that have been in charge of putting together the Main Street Festival, the art walk, and the show itself. Thank heaven it didn't blow away this last weekend like it did first. But we had a hard time rounding up some of those parachutes that once were awnings on that first weekend. But it was nice that the people that have been working on that have done a really good job. Thank you.
Yeah. I can tell you, I went by the marketplace as well, and I talked to a lot of the vendors, and they said it was steady all day. I think we showed up there around noon, but they said it was really steady all day, and everybody was having a good time. So I'm glad to see that's back as well. Just a couple things. Father's Day weekend, there's a state contest in town. There's also bands or band. I'm not sure. Friday night, there's I think one or two bands that'll be there starting at 6 o'clock to 8:30, and then Saturday, pretty much all day. There's not a lot going on, but cooking meat in a grass parking lot. But we have a kids queue. That I'm pretty excited about. I think as of this morning, I have 17 kids, or we have 17 kids competing. They're all going to get a burger, and we're going to see what they do with it. But it's pretty exciting. We started, I think, the last kids queue we had 6, so it's moving on up. I believe we have. I'm not sure. Jay's not here, but he probably wouldn't know. But I think we're planning on 40. State cookers coming from all over the country. I've seen. I talked to a friend of mine from, I know New Mexico, Utah, California. So it's a big state contest because it's a double. That'll be going on pretty much all day. If you want to watch us cook a steak and maybe drop one so you can eat one, come on out. I'm going to see if I can cook one as well. So, city manager, welcome to the Diaz. Nice to see you up here.
Yeah. So next week's the final week for Project Clean Sweep, and with the bulky item pickup at your regularly scheduled trash collection day starting Monday, June 7th through Thursday, June 11th. Next week is also the last week residents can haul debris free to the Lone Pine Transfer Station from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it'll be closed from noon to 12:30. You'll need to take a utility statement or proof of residency to participate in the free program at the transfer station. If you need more information on that program, you can call 532-4100. And in addition to the Rim Country Cruisers car show, the Cruising and Rim car show this weekend, there's also a Deuces Wild Triathlon. And there'll be some traffic control measures as they use the streets for running and biking portions of that triathlon. So you need to be careful with that. Those that it'll be a busy weekend on some of our streets, so pay attention to those that are participating in those programs. And in public works projects, our contractor completed the 11th Avenue Waterline project. The contractors also completed the waterline at work at East Huning and 8th Street and are waiting for the asphalt patch work to be completed. The ADOT mill and overlay projects on Deuce Clubs and White Mountain Road is scheduled to begin, and then it begins shortly this week or next week. That's a long project. It's going to involve a lot of concrete work. And then the final phase of it will be mill and overlaying the Deuce Clubs and White Mountain Road. That's not scheduled till later in the year, around October at this time, but it could be pushed back. We do have our slurry seal project, our citywide slurry seal project. It'll start on June 14th. It's scheduled to start June 14th, but there will be notices given to any residences that are affected by that program. And also the citywide paving projects will start in the next couple of weeks. That's 16th Avenue, 6th Street, 14th Loop, and Hilltop Subdivision. They'll be repaving, milling and repaving all those roads. And it's been mentioned a lot about the flags, and the ones at Circle K. We just need to mention if Fishers of Men is the group that put those flags up around the Circle K, and they did a great job there. And also, we wish Councilman Alsop a happy birthday, because when I have a birthday, his is 3 days after.
Appreciate that. City Manager, can you give us a couple ideas of bulk pickup? Does that mean refrigerators? Just an idea.
Right. Our public works crew goes out the same day as your trash day, and you can put anything at the curbside. I mean, not anything, but refrigerators, tires, large items, and we'll pick those up and haul them off.
Cars,
you have to contact one of the wrecking yards, but they'll take them for free also.
Tree branches?
What?
Tree branches?
Tree branches, we try to get most of those taken care of when we were working with Dirty Deeds, but if they're bundled, we will take them.
Appreciate that. Anybody need seconds? Scheduling meetings. Really?
Break.
All right. Next item on the agenda, executive session. We'll discuss or consult with legal advisory regarding negotiation for purchase sale of a lease of real property. I will entertain a motion to go in executive session. Got a motion by Councilman Hatch. Got a second by Councilwoman Wilson. All those in favor? All those opposed? Passed. Move in executive session.